First of all, going into one doubt sent by one of the student. I am pasting his doubt in normal Word file. So that you all can understand. Increases the font size so that better understanding will be possible. And if anybody know the answer, then you will say, don't know, no problem. Dear sir, I have prepared the financial statement from the example given in the notes. With respect to the presentation of dividend, I have confusion on presenting franked and unfranked dividends in financial statement and measurement of liability. Doubts. Dividend paid 650. Why we are not showing in the profit and loss account directly, deducting from retained earnings? The second point, dividend received. Do we consider dividend as unfranked dividend because usually dividend received are taxed amount, hence we used to show it below profit after tax. Doubts on liabilities. Measurement of assets and liability in accordance with IFRS standard. Is there any method to measure the liability same as assets measurement? For example, historical cost, revaluation, or fair value model. So there are three things he is asking. He's saying that he has gone through the notes and there was one problem which is solved in the notes. He has gone through that question and then his doubts on the financial statement format. The PL account, balance sheet, statement of changes in equity, that format. So his first doubt is dividend paid 650. Maybe in the question there is a 650 dividend payment and he's saying that why are not shown in the profit and loss account deducted from retained earnings? That is dividend payment, why not recorded in the profit and loss account? Why it is coming in a statement of changes in equity? Second, dividend received. One is dividend paid, this is dividend received. Do we consider a dividend as unfranked dividend because usually dividend received are a taxed amount. Dividends received are a taxed amount. Hence we used to show it below profit after tax. And then the liability. For the assets valuation, there are historical cost, revaluation, fair value model. Similarly for liabilities, is there any model to record the liability? Is there any method? I can say that this is slightly high level question that maybe you will not be able to answer. But anybody, what will be your answer for the first query? If you know.
Because dividend is not an expense, sir.
Acha. So dividend will not be recorded in PL account because it is not an expense. So where it will be recorded, sir?
It will be recorded in balance sheet, sir.
In balance sheet. Okay, sir. Anybody else?
Sir, first of all, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What is the dividends? I mean, to be paid during the year will be booked in the P&L account, and what we have paid, whether it's in, so that will be coming in the balance sheet.
Acha, fantastic, sir. Then Lokesh ji, tell me.
Yes, sir. Dividend paid should be shown in appropriation account, which comes after
Okay. Actually, your voice is huge echo, like you are saying in mic. No problem. Understood? Yeah, no problem, no problem. Yeah, it is getting, double voice is coming. No problem. Now, Saurabh Tyagi, tell me.
Morning, sir.
Yes, morning.
Sir, I think it will come below the P&L, other comprehensive income.
Other comprehensive income. What is that, sir?
Below the P&L line.
अच्छा,
There
ठीक
is
है.
other incomes concepts also.
अच्छा, ठीक है.
So I think it's there.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Sujit.
Sir, dividend we are paying to the shareholders.
हाँ.
So it should be deducted from the retained earning
हाँ.
and it will go to statement in changes in equity.
And nowhere else.
So first we create as a liability, like we are creating it as a payable.
Hmm.
Then payable we will
Cancel.
on the line. Yeah.
Okay. So Swarab, Sujit, Dand. Anybody else want to say anything? जो लोग, those who are messaging in the chat, I am reading. Don't worry.
Sir, dividend जो है सर प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट में आएगा.
Okay. और कहीं? Okay. No problem, Amit ji. Yes. Yes, Manasi.
Sir, I feel that dividend is kept in a certain amount of reserves or something else, which is already we can use it for paying to the shareholders. So it must be used from the retained earnings and not the normal funds which we do not use it. So I feel that it would not come in the P&L and it would get deducted from the retained earnings separately.
So where? From retained earning from where? In which statement?
After getting deducted, then it would be shown in the statement of changes in equity.
After deducted or when deducting? When you are deducting.
Yes. When deducting, we will
Acha.
deduct retained earnings reserves which we have, and then it is shown in the statement of changes in equity.
Okay. And nowhere else.
Yes, I feel that.
अच्छा, ठीक है. No problem. और किसी को कुछ बोलना है? बोलिए आसिक रहमान. Tell me.
Actually, sir, first of all, dividend is not a operating expense.
Okay.
In profit and loss accounting, is going to for only day-to-day expense.
Okay.
Dividend is another thing that is the after the owner equity.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the main thing. This is the going to the equity and equity options.
Okay.
Dividend, I think that is not operating expense. So profit and loss accounting only go to for the operating expense
हाँ.
and assets. That's the main point.
So dividend is an asset.
No, dividend is not an asset actually. Dividend is a owner portion, owner equity. That's the main thing. Because we know the profit and loss accounting only go for this the day-to-day operating activities. It can be expense, it can be income. But dividend is not the income. Dividend what is the liability, but is the owner liability.
No, so the question is coming, where you will show dividend in PL account, in balance sheet, where you will be showing dividend or you will not be showing anywhere.
So I tell you the profit and loss account, we can only show the day-to-day expense, operating activities. And dividend is not operating activities. Dividend is this after earning the income, the owner equity. This is the give to the owner, who is the give the assets, who is the give this the capital, the business. This is the one type of say suppose you invest your company 5 lakhs. After everything deducting is can be tax, expense, whatever. Deduct you got is the earn the money. This is the your owner equity. This is like one type of the your salary because you put in this money.
ठीक है, maybe. Okay, sir. Or anybody else? Do you want to say anything? Anup Kunnat. Yes, tell me, Anup.
placing, we will give dividend to shareholders, sir. Then you can show in equity statement.
ठीक है. Okay. Anybody else was saying something?
Actually, there is no impact in P&L. It's just directly in balance sheet. The entry will be like debit retained earnings and credit dividend payable. And once it's paid, it's payable debit and credit will be the cash or bank.
No, so the question is that we are not talking journal entry. We are saying that we will be preparing PL account, balance sheet, statement of changes in equity. There are different documents we need to prepare. So where you will be showing this dividend? After passing journal entry, where you will be recording?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's in balance sheet.
In balance sheet.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Nowhere else.
In balance sheet, it's like debit and retained earnings and credit and payable. That means current liability.
That means you want to show that retained earning will be reducing in the balance sheet, and in balance sheet under current liability you will be showing dividend payable, है ना?
Yeah.
But if the dividend is paid, then because here the example is dividend paid.
Yeah, then the your credit current liability will decrease, and your current asset will debit current payable, then credit bank.
So ultimately what will happen? Liability will reduce and assets will reduce, है ना?
Yeah, both sides. Yeah.
Okay, both side going down. Okay. ठीक है. Somebody who has written already in the chat box, why you are writing again? Don't take tension. Because if you write so many times, I am reading every chat, whatever is pasted by anybody, I am reading. But since we are in the live class and we want to say anything, we can unmute ourselves and we can say. There is no problem. Because when the recordings will be there, nobody will be able to see the chat. They will be able to see the communication. They will be able to see whatever I am showing. But in the recordings, the chat are not recorded. If you have seen the recordings, the chats are not recorded. So obviously in the live class, when everybody is live, we can see the chat. But I will advise more and more communication in the class. Maybe wrong or right. Like there are so many of you are having a wrong concept, no problem. But communication say your in total body and total knowledge, your total intention in the class changes. If you are just sitting idle, not communicating anything, not in chat, not in voice message, then in that case, that means you are not understanding anything. So most important is interaction. Whether we are saying wrong or right doesn't matter. Okay? चलिए, अब मेरा conclusion सुन लेते हैं. First of all, when we discussed in the last class, the basic accounting, what is the purpose of accounting, what do you say, why we prepare accounts, different things, the basic short things which we discussed. Then we discussed that whether we are in India, then we have Indian GAAP. Since I studied in 97, 98, later on it was IFRS. India was also accepting IFRS. And then from 2015 or 16, India introduced Ind AS. That means India decided that we will have our own accounting principles, standards, that is Ind AS. But Ind AS is not applicable for a small company, like for Saraf Academy, Saraf Gurukul Private Limited. Ind AS is not applicable. It is applicable only for bigger companies. And the Ind AS in India is 99% IFRS, 99%. Wherever the differences are there, I will be communicating in the class, maybe not a part of the syllabus. In US, they have their US GAAP. In many other countries also, I don't remember so much. In which country they are having their own standards like India and US, and in which countries they are accepting IFRS as the global accounting language. But around 130 countries are there In most of the countries, IFRS is their accounting standards. IFRS is their accounting laws, regulations. In some of the countries like India, US, they have decided they will develop their own accounting standards. But the own accounting standards also are more or less related with the IFRS. So if somebody has IFRS knowledge, that means they have the global accounting knowledge. Now, what is the purpose of accounting? You and me belongs to accounting field. So we will be able to understand the accounting part much faster and in a much better way as compared to a person who are not involved in accounting. Any engineer, any doctor, any lawyer, anybody जिनका accounting background नहीं है, उनको थोड़ा समझने में they will take time. But then the purpose of accounting is that whether you and me or whether any normal person not related with accounting, they should be able to understand the financials properly. Purpose तो यही है. But I understand engineers, doctors, lawyers and anybody, they cannot understand account the way we can understand. But the purpose of IFRS, Ind AS, US GAAP, anything, is when the accounts is prepared, when the summary is prepared, then that summary should be understandable even to a common man also. And something will be understandable to a common man, which is technical, need to have some guidelines, some rules, some principles. If it is without any guidelines, rules and principles, then to even we cannot understand. So the accounting has made a rule that PL account will be of this format. Balance sheet will be of this format. Statement of changes in equity will be of this format. Cash flow statement will be of this format. Auditor's report will be covering these aspects. Director's report, chairman's speech should be covering these aspects. In the notes to accounts, this should be written. This is all accounting. And this all is called financial statement. Under financial statement, you have different components. Statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Statement of financial position. Statement of changes in equity. Statement of cash flow. Notes to accounts and accounting policies, which is, you can say, our syllabus part. And then there is auditor's report, there is director's, chairman's speech and report. Those are also indirectly covered with accounting. But that is not strictly accounting. And this entire thing is called financial statement. Whether Indian accounting, whether US GAAP, whether IFRS. For the time being, I have discussed the format of only three things. Statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Statement of financial position and statement of changes in equity. I have not discussed the format of statement of cash flow. And as far as notes to accounts policies are concerned, that cannot be discussed in one class. Every class is focusing on notes to accounts and policies. Every class. So that cannot be taught in one class or in one go. Every accounting rules, regulations involves some, notes to accounts and policies. So up till now, we have discussed the format of profit and loss account, PL account, in our common language. Balance sheet, which is a statement of financial position, and a statement of changes in equity. That we discussed. I said in the last class, just a request, कि those who don't have good accounting knowledge, they should be preparing the format without any figures. कि at least you should be knowing the format, कि भाई पहले क्या दिखाते हैं, नहीं दिखाते हैं, कैसे दिखाते हैं. ये यहाँ पर there is no figures. It is just that I should be knowing the format properly. So we discussed the format, कि this is the fixed format. Somebody said that, sir, if I will be writing here and there, normally if you study properly the format, you will not be doing any mistake. Because normally it is not acceptable. But फिर भी एग्जाम्स में उसके लिए कोई बहुत ज्यादा नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं. But हम गलती करेंगे ही क्यों? Why we will be doing any mistake in writing the format? So when we will be doing problems of final accounts, that is not now, at least after 1.5 months, because before that I need to deal with different adjustments. उसके पहले एक बार फॉर्मेट बनाने का प्रैक्टिस करना है. So suppose he is saying that the person who raised the doubts, that he has made the format and he has certain doubts. This is the balance sheet format. The non-current assets, that is those assets which will be used for many years. We will be covering a study of non-current assets in around 5 classes. I will discuss non-current assets, different parts, in around 15 to 20 hours. I have not discussed anything. Just I said non-current means which will be used in the business for more than a year. Under non-current there is investments also, that you have done some investments of your money, share market, bonds, government security, anywhere, and the objective is long term. You are going to hold the investment for more than a year. Then that is also a part of non-current assets. Then current assets, those which will be settled within a year, generally inventory, receivable, cash, and those which will change daily. This is called the total assets. And this total assets from where we got? This is the finance. This money is utilized in purchasing, in getting the total assets. One is owner's money, shareholders' money. The shareholder money, share capital, retained earning, other components of equity. Retained earning is, somebody said in the last class. So what is retained earning? I think Amit Nigam, you only. I don't remember exactly, but 99%. Then I said that if the business, like in Saraf Academy, we are running our business for more than 20 plus years. So presently we are preparing the PL account balance sheet for March 2023. The last date to submit to the department's ROC, government income tax, is 30th September. That's the return filing date. But still we have not filed, that is under preparation. So March 2023, profit we know, but that is not retained earning in the balance sheet. Suppose before March 2023, that is on 1st April 2022, our total accumulated profit by doing business for 20 years, our total accumulated profit, say 50 lakh. And the current year, March 2023, we generated income of say 10 lakh. So on March 2023, the retained earning is 60 lakh, 50 plus 10. So retained earning is all the cumulative profit of all the years. But in profit and loss account, you are showing only the current year income. The current year income plus the old income, last year profit balance, the total is called retained earnings. So retained earning figure you will be able to get for the balance sheet when you finish your PL account for the year. What is the profit during the year? And then you add with the opening balance, which will become opening balance for next year. When I will prepare my financials ready, submit that, then the balance will be 60 lakh, 50 plus 10 lakh during the year 60. Now next year opening balance is 60 lakh. That is accumulated profit. Retained earning, सालों का profit, सब मिलाकर. Other components of equity, anything which belongs to shareholders, other than these two, maybe share premium, maybe general reserve, maybe revaluation reserve, anything which is not payable to any outsider, which is belonging to owners. So that is called as other components of equity. This is shareholders' money. Then the liability which we need to pay to outsiders. They are divided into two parts. One is long term, one is short term. Long term means payable beyond 1 year. Non-current, payable after 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. Loan from bank, term loan, payable after 10 years. Debenture issued by the company, redeemable after 5 years. Anything. Anything which is payable beyond 1 year is non-current. And anything which is payable within 1 year is current liability. Similar like current assets and non-current assets. The assets will be used in the business for more than a year, non-current. Within a year, current. Similarly with non-current and current liability. So the balance sheet will be equal to assets and liability. Assets, liability, barobar. If I will say that I start a business today with 1 lakh rupees. So in the business, 1 lakh is the cash balance, current assets, and 1 lakh is the equity because it is my money. From the 1 lakh, I purchased some assets for 50,000. So now what will happen? The cash balance will be 1 lakh minus 50,000, and the assets will be 50,000. Still, the total assets is 1 lakh. Still, the equity is 1 lakh. I have taken loan in the business for 5 lakh. So loan taken, now the equity 1 lakh and the loan 5 lakh, the total liability 6 lakh. And the 5 lakh is in the cash balance because I have taken the loan, money received. So now my assets balance is 1 lakh plus 5 lakh, 6 lakh. Always whatever you have, that is an assets. Na? From where you got that assets? Either your own money or somebody else's money. But assets will always be equal to liability. That we say as, in accounting equation language, assets minus liability equals to capital. Assets balance sheet, asset side total, liability non-current, current liability deducted, it will be equal to equity. Whenever you will record a transaction, this equation will always be equal. Assets minus liability equals to equity. Whatever transactions you are recording in the books, debit, credit, whatever, may be wrong, right, whatever, but the equation should tally. Equation means what? 100 equals to 100. If in the left hand side 20 added, so left hand side become 120. So to make it equal, the right hand side should also be plus 20. Similarly, in accounting equation, assets minus liability equals to capital. For every transaction, this equation will be tallied. And for that reason, the double entry concept, the journal entry and all that arises. Because accounts को बराबर बनाया गया. Assets equals to liability. और उसको बेस करके जर्नल एंट्री ये सब डेवलप किया गया, कॉन्सेप्ट डेवलप किया गया, डेबिट, क्रेडिट एंड ऑल दैट. Then the second format is statement of profit and loss and other comprehensive income. Statement of profit or loss is only for the year. But the balance sheet is statement of financial position as on 31st March 2023. That means whole life of Saraf Academy, the balance on 31st March 2023. But PL account is not whole life. Only 1st April 2022 to 31st March 2023, only this much period figures. For the year. So for the year, what is the revenue in Saraf Academy or any organization? In my case, it is tuition fees. You all have joined for IFRS. There are so many students joining for different courses. My entire year training classes fees, that is my revenue. The cost of sale for providing you training classes, internet, electricity, those staff who are engaged in, all are cost of sale. Then comes gross profit. From sales, revenue deducted cost, gross profit. Distribution and administration. Somebody is engaged in marketing. Suppose we are doing Google marketing. Suppose we are doing social media marketing. Suppose I am, you can say, doing some promotion of the course in a college or in a school. So those are distribution, selling expenditures. Administration, accountant, doing the accounting entries, making the ledgers, for submitting the returns, the accounting department, administrative, that is administration expense. These are not part of cost of sale. These are selling and administration expenditures. These all three are operations. So this will giving you from gross profit when you deduct profit from operations. From profit from operations, you deduct finance cost and investment income. Somebody was saying that in the PL account, we require only operational things. Then what is this, man? This is not operational. Profit from operation already done. This is non-operational. And there are so many things. I will give example. So finance cost and investment income is also there in the PL account, which is not operational. It is non-operational. If it is operational, it would be coming before profit from operations. Then the profit before tax. After operational, non-operational income and expenditures, we are getting before paying tax what is our income. Then the income tax, the tax expense. And then comes the profit for the year. This profit for the year consider other comprehensive income. The example given, revaluation gain, not dividend. The example given, revaluation gain, not dividend. Then it is called the total comprehensive income. I said in the last class, what is the difference for the time being for basic understanding? The other comprehensive income are all those income which we have not received in cash. I have this property, I am conducting classes. This property I purchased for 1 crore when I purchased this, but the value of the property is 5 crore. And I want to record in my books 5 crore. So 4 crore income I will be recording here because I have not sold the property and no intention to sell because where I will conduct the classes, where I will do my business activities. But I want to record in my books the property value, current value 5 crore, not 1 crore, the historical cost. So I am recording 1 to 5, that is 4 crore extra in the balance sheet under non-current assets. And here I am recording that 4 crore in other comprehensive income, because it is not the money received in cash. There are so many items like this. This is just an example. Now dividend involve cash payment. If you pay dividend, you need to pay to your shareholder. So that is not a non-cash item. So how can it come under other comprehensive income? No problem. Then comes the profit for the year, and the other comprehensive total becomes total comprehensive income. This total comprehensive income will be recorded in the balance sheet. How come? It will be coming in the balance sheet through equity. Through statement of changes in equity, we will be getting the figures which will be coming in the statement of financial position balance sheet. In the balance sheet, I am not going above again. In the balance sheet, statement of financial position before PL account, we have said in the liability equity. And in the equity, the figures were share capital, retained earning, other components of equity. This is share capital, retained earnings, and these are share premium, revaluation, other components of equity. Maybe there are others also. आप और कॉलम बनाओगे. जितना आइटम है सभी का कॉलम बनेगा. Whatever item you want to show in the balance sheet, वो सबका यहाँ statement बनेगा. वो statement बनेगा कि if for Saraf Academy I am preparing, then on 1st April 2022, what is the balance of these items? That means last year, when I prepare the balance sheet, when I prepare the statement of changes in equity, what was the figures? I will start from there. Then profit for the year. Profit for the year means ये जो PL account आपने बनाया, ये PL account में ये जो figure है, not other comprehensive, ये जो figure है, profit for the year, this figure will be added to retained earnings. Why? As I said, retained earning मतलब क्या? Sir, I gave the example during beginning of the year 50 lakh, 50 lakh, and during the year profit 10 lakh. It is not total comprehensive income. It is the profit which you realized. It is not other comprehensive. So your retained earning now becomes 50 plus 10, 60. अगर इन सब में भी कोई चेंजेस है, क्या है? आपने कोई शेयर इश्यू किया, शेयर इश्यू प्रीमियम में किया, तो वो पीएल अकाउंट बैलेंस शीट में नहीं, यहां आ रहा है. आपको इन सब का ब्रेकअप दिखाना है कि ये ओपनिंग से क्लोजिंग बैलेंस कैसे बना. मैंने बोला था पहले 10-12 साल पहले मैंने भी बनाया था, आपने भी बनाया होगा, पीएल एप्रोप्रिएशन. अभी पीएल एप्रोप्रिएशन नहीं बनता है. देयर इज नो पीएल एप्रोप्रिएशन कॉन्सेप्ट इन IFRS, इन इंडियन अकाउंटिंग, इन US GAAP. गया पीएल एप्रोप्रिएशन नो मोर. उसके बदले स्टेटमेंट ऑफ चेंजेस इन इक्विटी बनता है. तो पहले पीएल एप्रोप्रिएशन में अपने सारा चीज नहीं दिखाते थे. सो वट एवर द विंडो ड्रेसिंग, वट एवर द घपलास आर देयर, दैट वी आर नॉट एबल टू कम टू नो बाय लुकिंग एट पीएल. अब ये रूल बना दिया कि आपका जो भी शेयर होल्डर का मनी में प्लस माइनस है सारा दिखाइए, A to Z, फ्रॉम टॉप टू बॉटम, फ्रॉम बिगिनिंग टिल द एंड इन द इंटायर ईयर. तो आपका जितना भी इक्विटी आइटम में चेंजेस है, I am speaking in English, Hindi, both. It's not a language class. My English is not good. My Hindi is not good. Both the language teacher, I am not there. You are joining here not for English language. I am speaking in every language because there are requests by others, sir, say in Hindi. There are requests by somebody, sir, say in English. What should I do? Now somebody is saying Bengali. What should I do? These three language I know. But believe me, whatever language I will use, you will understand. नहीं पढ़ाने से पैसा वापस, नहीं समझने से. If you don't understand, money refund guarantee. Okay? So don't take tension. Hindi, English and all that, this is not a language class. If you want to learn the language, I am not the correct person. Because my language is bad. How can I teach you language? I cannot write a poetry in any language. I cannot write a very good English or Hindi in any language. Okay? So just focus on understanding. आपको अगर लग रहा है कि ये हिंदी इंग्लिश है, बिलीव मी, आप पढ़ते नहीं है. If you don't follow me, whatever I am saying, if you don't do, whether I say in Hindi, English, Bengali, any language, you will never understand. So that's my request to everybody. Don't disturb in the class. Just that if you don't understand any concept, you unmute yourself, you tell me, क्या प्रॉब्लम है? अभी तक मैंने हिंदी कितना बार बोला है? बोला ही नहीं. I said Hindi language, I think 1 or 2 sentences. But then those who don't know English properly, are they getting if I am using English language? There are many who don't know English like me. My English is not good. So those who know Hindi better, are they getting whatever I am saying? Please everybody, say in the chat box. Not by force. Are you actually understanding if I am saying in English? The second thing, those who know only English, they don't know Hindi. Other than one person who is saying, sir, please speak in English. Are they getting? Those who don't know, there are many who are from south or from other parts of the world, they are not understanding whatever I am saying. Then why we are discussing Hindi, English and all that? We are wasting our time in the class, okay? I always say in every batch, this is not a language class. This is not a language class. No Hindi, no English. It's dil, heart, that I am speaking. So make your heart open so that it will go in your heart and brain. Okay? No problem. Chaliye. So I mean to say that whatever items are there in the balance sheet under equity, their breakup need to be shown here. Full breakup need to be shown here. Whatever changes from beginning till the end, so that any window dressing can be understood. What is window dressing? If you see any house from window, you don't know the exact financial condition of the house by looking at from the window. But if you go inside the house, you will be able to understand full. No problem. I'm just saying that there are students who request Hindi speaking, Hindi language. There are students who are saying English. What language I should use? I should use both, so that both the type of student will be able to understand. The second thing, I am not a language teacher. Not Hindi, nor English, nor Bengali. 3 languages I can say, I can speak, I can write. Everybody will be able to understand in whichever. If I will speak in Bengali, believe me, even Hindi, English student can understand. Because I am not teaching language. So just focus on understanding. Don't go into language and all that. It is not a language class. Just a request to all of you. Okay. So if I am saying something in Hindi, फिर मैं English में बोल रहा हूँ. If I am saying something in English, then I am saying again in Hindi. So I am covering of both the types of crowd. तो आपको क्या जरूरत है कि मैं हिंदी नहीं बोल सकता? क्या प्रॉब्लम है आपको? और आपको क्या जरूरत है कि मैं इंग्लिश नहीं बोल सकता? मेरे को ये समझ में नहीं है. I want to capture, I want to make understand everybody. चाहे वो हिंदी है चाहे इंग्लिश है. मैं हर बात को 3 बार बोल रहा हूं, 4 बार, 4 times. Now it's upon you how much you are ready to take, or you go on discussing Hindi, English. There is no solution for this. Okay? Nobody should be saying this again. सर हिंदी में बोलिए, सर इंग्लिश में बोलिए. यार माइंड खराब हो जाएगा यार, पढ़ नहीं पाएंगे. ठीक है? All is well. Yes, sir. All is well. Amir Khan. Okay. So, whatever the changes are there in the shareholders, in the owner's money, that need to be presented here. Now, payment of dividend is changes in the owner's money. Whether it's a company called dividend, whether it's an individual proprietorship business called drawings, not salary. Maybe salary also, but I am saying drawings. Drawings we can't record in PL account as an expense. I am taking from my company's salary. Actually, I am taking. So salary, director salary is recorded in PL account as an expense. But after paying salary, after paying taxes, after everything, whatever the profit company earns, the company is bound to pay dividend to the shareholders. Bound to pay in the sense there is no rule. But when the profit is generated, it should be given to the owners as a dividend. I have 30 company shares. Reliance, ITC, Hindustan, Unilever, L&T, so many company shares. Regularly I go on receiving dividend from them. The dividend which I am receiving, for me, it's a dividend receipt. dividend income. For the company in whose company share I have invested, those company dividend is a payment. For me, it's a receipt. Saraf Academy, Saraf Gurukul Private Limited has invested some surplus money in the share market. Indian companies, not outside India company. I have invested in share market, Indian companies. So Saraf Academy is regularly receiving dividend. So there is a dividend receipt on your investment which you have done in the shares of some other company. And there is a dividend payment which in your company, after calculating the net income, revenue minus all the expenditures. Now expenditure is not only operational, non-operational. Non-operational, whether it's an interest on loan, it is not operational expenditure. But whether it is operational, non-operational, income expenses, you will calculate your net income, which is called the profit for the year. This profit for the year as per PL account, you will calculate this figure, profit for the year. And this profit for the year will be added to retained earnings. The opening balance of retained earning, this is added. This is the total profit. Once the company will look at the total profit, total after adding the current year, they will decide about the dividend. How much they need to reinvest in the business, how much they should be giving as dividend to shareholders. That dividend is not an expense. Don't say non-operational. It is not an expense. Neither operational, neither non-operational. Dividend is not an expense. Because Saraf Academy, who are the owners? Prakash Saraf, Vidisha Saraf. Saraf Gurukul Private Limited is the company and Saraf Academy is the brand name. Me and my wife is the shareholder, 50-50%. Me and my wife as the directors and everything. So we are getting from Saraf Academy, Saraf Gurukul Private Limited, director remuneration. And after director remuneration, salary, expenditures, when we get profit after tax, from that we are giving dividend to me and to my wife. How much dividend we are giving? We analyze how much dividend we can give to the shareholders and how much money should be reinvested in the business. Because business will grow when you reinvest, when you further invest, when you make your business larger. So some of the amount every company in the world, no compulsion, are paying as a dividend. Here it is written dividend. This is dividend payment, not dividend receipt. This is dividend payment, but not an expense. Expense is always payable to other than owner. Those who are the owner of the business, neither in proprietorship, neither in company, neither in partnership, payment to partners are not an expense. Owner को जो payment होता है, that is not an expense. That is appropriation of profits. Earlier appropriation of profit 12-13 years back recorded in PL appropriation. At that time there was no statement of changes in equity. Now this is PL appropriation and this is much larger than PL appropriation. So dividend is coming Indian accounting, IFRS, US GAAP, any accounting, not coming in PL account. It is not an expense. Whatever the profit accumulated, retained earnings are there, after paying dividend, that is getting reduced. Now this dividend after deducting from here, you are getting retained earnings. That is the closing retained earning. You will say, thus sir, this is what? I have not explained properly this one. Slightly I said in the last class, but I have not explained. एक बार इस पे ध्यान मत दीजिए. Don't see this. Just see this dividend. Suppose this is coming figure after 50 lakh was opening figure, 10 lakh was profit for the year 60, and there is a dividend payment of say 5 lakh. So this is 55 lakh. This 55 lakh will be coming in the balance sheet under equity retained earning balance. If you say that last year you have not announced any dividend and the current year you are announcing for both the years, so whatever you will announce during the year, that will come. It is not concerned that for the year. You are preparing accounts for a year. So in this year, whatever dividend is there, that will be coming there. Whatever dividend you are paying, whether for last 2-3 years you have paid or not, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. During the year, your balance of retained earning, because of the dividend, is getting adjusted. So, a statement of changes in equity is a breakup of Statement of changes in equity is breakup of these items, and for these item there is a separate working, separate format. Statement of changes in equity is required, and that statement of changes in equity record dividend under retained earning column. So your retained earning here figure is already after deducting the dividend. Now if this dividend is already paid, whether it is paid or not, you will deduct in retained earning in a statement of changes in equity. The balance retained earning will come here. If it is already paid, then to in the balance sheet from the cash it is already gone. So somebody was saying that assets liability both will go down. It is already going down. Cash balance down by dividend payment, retained earning down by dividend payment. So both are equal. The equation is equal. If it is not paid, the company has declared the dividend, but it is not yet paid to shareholders. So still it is deducted in retained earning, but not deducted in cash. Then it will be coming under current liability as a dividend payable. So retained earning got down, but then the current liability got up. Ultimately the net effect is zero. Assets minus liability equals to capital. Equity. Liability goes up, so assets minus liability going down, net figure, and the equity retained earning goes down, so both are equal. If you say that it is paid, then the assets minus liability equals to equity. Equity gone down because dividend deducted from retained earning, and in the asset side, asset gone down because cash is paid. So ultimately assets minus liability gone down. Both every time for every transaction, the accounting equation will be equal. Assets minus liability equals to equity. Whether it is paid or not doesn't matter. Always dividend is an appropriation of profit. Appropriation of profit is not an expense, not operational, non-operational, not an expense. They will be coming under statement of changes in equity. All the shareholders items, share capital, retained earnings, share premium, revalue, everything will be coming here. Not in PL balance sheet, and the net figure of these balances will be coming in the balance sheet. It is universal rule, not only IFRS, not only Indian accounting standards, Ind AS, not only US GAAP. This is universal rule. Ki dividend is not an expense. It is not paid to any outsider. It is paid to the owners. And owners' payment in any accounting language is not a expense. So that is not recorded in PL account. The second thing we are saying in the profit for the year, investment income. What is this investment income? I gave the example in the last class. If I have invested some money in bank as a FD, fixed deposit, Saraf Academy surplus money deposited in bank under FD, and under FD I am getting interest income. My business is not this. I am not a business or banking financial institution. मैं वो नहीं हूँ. मेरा काम है training classes. I am providing training classes. So with the training fees, my operational income. This is non-operational income. Dividend on shares. I have invested my surplus money actually in share market. And that surplus money, wherever I invested, I am getting dividend. So that dividend is my non-operational income, investment income. Whether from this income I will pay dividend to shareholders or not doesn't matter, because my operational income is this, non-operational income expenditure this is this. Suppose there is in an organization loss by theft, loss by fire, that is not operations, but will come in PL account. Loss to loss ही है. It will be coming in the PL account. This is profit before tax, operational, non-operational both. This is profit from operation, operational items, and then tax deducted give you profit for the year. This profit for the year going in a statement of changes in equity under opening retained earning balance becomes cumulative retained earning balance. From that, whether you want to pay dividend or not, that's your call. The company don't have any rule that they need to pay this dividend. Whether they will pay dividend or not, that they will decide in the shareholders meeting. Whenever I am having shares and the company is calling for shareholder, nowadays the meetings are all online. I have never attended any meeting, no time. But in the meeting they say, we are thinking the directors and all that, they are proposing that we are saying that this we will be paying as dividend to shareholders. All the shareholders in the meeting need to vote for that. If the vote is in favor greater than 50%, then whatever the dividend proposed by directors becomes final. And once that dividend is final, shareholder given the approval, voting done, then in that case, that dividend will be deducted from retained earnings in a statement of changes in equity. If it is paid, deducted from cash. If it is not paid, recorded in the current liability. But whether it is paid or not, dividend will be recorded under statement of changes in equity, deducted from retained earnings. If it is dividend received, that is whether operational or non-operational income, they are part of profit for the year. They are not part of his stay. Then to in his statement, you will write revenue also. You will write administration also. You will calculate profit from all the operations, non-operational item, everything. And then whatever you are giving to the owners, that will be coming under statement of changes in equity. Dividend is always optional. Like in Saraf Academy, Saraf Gurukul, we have never given a single rupee dividend to Prakash Saraf, Vidisha Saraf. Never. Ab don't go into that why. Nahi jana, fayda nahi hai. We need to understand accounting. Otherwise, there are so many ifs and buts in there that why we have not given any dividend. Forget that. So this is what he was asking, that why that dividend is not deducted in PL account. Asset will decrease from cash. When you pay dividend, your cash and bank balance will go down. And the dividend in the liability side already deducted from retained earning. So balance sheet tally. Assets liability equal. If the payment is not done, then still you are deducting from retained earning. And you are recording in the liability under current liability. Again the balance sheet equal. Assets liability equal. The dividend you will record when in the shareholders meeting, the shareholder have given the approval, voted for the dividend. It cannot be written as a dividend payment or a liability just by the directors being saying. The directors cannot finalize the dividend. The dividend need to be finalized by the shareholders in the shareholders meeting. So once it is finalized, approval received by voting, then the dividend whether paid or not, it will be recorded. Otherwise not. So he was asking relating to dividend paid, not dividend as a liability. We need to understand exactly what is the language of the query. Paid. Then why we are saying if not paid? I am to just said 360 degree. He is saying dividend paid. Paid means it is already deducted from cash and bank balance. But it is dividend appropriation of profit, not paid to any outsider, to the owners of the business. It comes under statement of changes in equity in any accounting. And if it is dividend received, whether operational, non-operational, they are the part of profit for the year. आपको उसको प्रॉफिट आफ्टर टैक्स में नहीं दिखाना है, प्रॉफिट बिफोर टैक्स. Before that, from operational income, you will add investment income. This is that, the investment income. Relating to this, I can just say this much. For every assets and liability, there is a separate accounting standards. So for liability, we have an accounting standards IAS 37. Provisions, contingent liabilities and contingent assets. For liabilities, we have an accounting standard leasing, IFRS 16. For liabilities, we have an accounting standard for financial asset, financial liability, IAS 32, IFRS 7, IFRS 9. Those are very huge. So the principles are there. When something is not written in an accounting standard, in the principles, then to you will apply your common sense. Na? For assets also, there are so many accounting standards. For non-current assets, property, plant and equipment, IAS 16. For intangible assets, IAS 38. So when the accounting standard is there, whatever is written in the accounting standard, that we need to follow for value the assets. When there is no accounting standard, then we follow common principles. Like suppose somebody has invested in cryptocurrency, Bitcoin or anything, still today, there is no accounting standard in IFRS, in Ind AS relating to cryptocurrency. Then you need to apply common sense. How we will be recording the investment in cryptocurrency. I'm not discussing that right now, but this answer cannot be given now because every IFRS has rules for valuation of assets, valuation of liability and all that. This is common sense. आप जनरल बात कर रहे हैं, historical, revaluation, it's not. Specific rules are there. And then there is a common accounting standard, IFRS 13, business valuation, valuation of assets. So there are many things. We can't say like that, ki how the liability will be valued. When we will be discussing one by one all the liabilities, then we will be discussing how they are valued, why they are valued like this, not only assets, liability, all. So relating to this, I am not in a position to say many things because we will get to know this gradually in the classes. This cannot be discussed now. So this is, you can say, one of the question by a student, and how we will be discussing everything in the class. Maybe suppose you are not able to join the live class. You are busy. Or maybe something happened. Or you are not well. You don't need to take tension. You just send your doubt in mail. Like he has sent the doubts in mail. Mail mein doubt bheja. Now he is not in the class. I remember he sent the doubt on August 23rd. And what is today? August 26th. I am on my mails 24 hours. Just when sleeping, then I remember you have sent one mail. You have certain question to ask. I will discuss at length in the class. Not 1 or 2 minutes. I'm not thinking 1 hour gone what we have studied. Whatever we are studying, if we don't understand, there is no purpose of study. Why to see the time this much? And I'm not concerned with timing. Ample of time is there. So for that reason, whenever you have a query, properly send the query like this. What is the question? What is your solution? What is the institute solution? That cannot be pasted in the mail. So I said in the last class, make a Word file. Suppose Ahmad Adnan. Make a Word file, Ahmad Adnan. Word file name. Now copy paste. Suppose this is your question. Screenshot taken and pasted here in the Word file. Paste kar diye. Then suppose this is the institute answer. Now again copy paste, copy and then screenshot pasted, institute answer. Okay? Now my answer. You are getting something, maybe wrong. Write your answer. Everything, whatever your answer. Your query. Whether you are there in the class or not, I am there. I remember you have sent the mail, you have a query. I will discuss that in length in the class. At length, I will discuss. No concern kitna der usme lag raha hai. But you need to help me to help you. You cannot ask in this page, this question, this I was reading somewhere then way, because what you are reading, what you are interpreting, maybe that is not correct. Need to read the sentences properly. Need to interpret them properly. Then I can explain you that everybody need to help me. The last thing before proceeding further. The last thing. Suppose there are some of you don't have basic accounting concept also. What is basic accounting concept? I will say that accounting equation, assets minus liability equals to capital, basic debit credit, basic you can say depreciation, basics, which we teach to bachas. Bachas means 10 pass out, 11, 12th standard student, 12 pass out, undergraduate students, not graduate. Because graduate in accounting or BBA have some basic understanding of accounting. But if you have that challenge, then I teach accounting for bachas. In that the age of the student is between 15 to 20. Nobody in the batch is beyond 20. Maybe out of 100 students, 1 or 2 may be greater than 20. But all are 11th, 12th, BCom or BBA first, second year students. Those classes I run Monday, Wednesday. I am not selling my course. It is just for them. You need to understand. Monday, Wednesday, 11:30 to 2:30 India time. But not entire year. Recently, last week, I finished that accounting batch. I started that batch in April end. So May, June, July and August the 15th around I finished. So 3.5 months. Every week there were 2 classes. So I taught them 30 classes. Whatever I am going to teach you, 30 classes of 3 hours each. Around 80 to 90 hours. Anybody can understand even though you don't have any knowledge of accounting. From base. Assuming that person don't have any knowledge of accounting. You should be going for those classes. You should be taking as a recording of those classes so that your accounting knowledge will be proper and you can understand in these classes properly. Because according to me, asking that dividend income will be coming here and there is a basic level question. So there may be so many basic level questions in your mind which you may not be asking, or how many times you are asking. You will ask. So go for that. That is my advice. We will offer you, since it is recorded, at 50% price. What is the price? You can go on my website. That is saraf.academy. Go in ACCA. Go in financial accounting. Whatever the price mentioned, you can pay 50%. We will be giving you those classes as recorded, those who are interested. But those who don't have basic understanding of accounting, then it will be difficult for them to understand IFRS. Because some basic knowledge is assumed in the class. We are not discussing debit credit here, you understand. And I discussed debit credit accounting equation in those classes for 20 hours. Starting from basics, why there is a debit credit, why there is an accounting equation and everything. So it will be very helpful to clear your basics. Okay? अगर किसी को भी लगता है, you don't want to go with my classes, no problem. Go in YouTube, select some videos which are explaining basic accounting. You need to give some time, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, some videos, 5-10 videos here and there. You will be able to select. See those videos properly. By reading from any book, you cannot understand. Somebody need to teach you. Somebody need to give you examples practically. Then in that case, you can understand. Because books too many. You can't understand by the books. So free resources are there on YouTube. You need to give some time. Which video you will refer for understanding basic accounting. You need to search properly. You can go to Chat GPT. You can write on the Chat GPT, can you give me video list so that I can understand basic accounting concepts, accounting equation, debit, credit, golden rules of journal and all that. Chat GPT will give you list of videos or simple. Now use that link in YouTube. See the video. कुछ तो करना होएगा ना. So don't go for my classes. No money required. But you need to increase your basic understanding. Gradually, the way we are running the classes. That's my advice to everybody. Okay? Yes, Mr. Das. Okay, no problem. Now, any other doubt anybody has, be free. Others are not asking, you are concerned with your understanding. So anybody for the time being, any other doubt, anything to ask? Yes, Mr. Anup.
Sir, retained earnings you told now, that is the same as a reserve and surplus?
Actually, reserve and surplus is more broader aspect because reserves and surplus include retained earning, includes general reserve, includes revaluation reserve, many items. So you can say reserves and surplus nowadays is called other components of equity. Other than share capital, other than retained earning, you can say other components of equity. The general reserve, reserves and surplus, the term used earlier. Nowadays, people use retained earning, other components of equity, these types of technical words. So it is same, but reserves and surplus is not retained earning. Reserves and surplus includes retained earning, general reserve, revaluation reserve, any other reserves. Then anybody else? Please, fatafat. Once I will start, then later on you start asking from the back, it will be disturbing our class. Hai? And as I am saying, don't think what others will think. Don't think, never. Think about yourself. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, company took the retained earning before dividend or after dividend from net profit?
You are not getting what I said. Again, I am saying,
Yeah.
there is a PL account and there is a statement of changes in equity, two things. In the PL account, we are saying what is the profit generated by the organization during the year. So in the PL account, there is no dividend. Whether you are paying to shareholders or not, because dividend is not an expense, neither operational, neither non-operational. Dividend is not an expense.
Sir, I can understand these things. Sir, I'm talking about this, that calculating of the retained earning. Sir, this is my net profit. So minus net profit subtract dividends equal to retained earning. Is it?
Whatever I am saying, you are not getting. Whatever you are saying, I understood. Believe me. Give me 2 minutes. I am saying that, this PL account is giving you net profit. This is your profit for the year is net profit. Okay. There is no dividend here because dividend is not an expense. The dividend is recorded here under retained earning. This retained earning is opening balance, then the net profit in your language, in my language, profit for the year. Then from here the dividend is deducted, whether paid or not. But it is decided by the shareholders, voted by the shareholders. It is deducted and then the balance is coming net balance. And this net balance is coming in the balance sheet under equity. So this balance is obviously after a deducting dividend. And then this dividend, if not paid, is a separate liability. If dividend is paid, then it is already deducted from the assets. So balance sheet figure will be after a deducting dividend. But the dividend is not a part of net profit, not a part of PL account. So you are saying that, sir, whether the profit will be, retained earning will be after a deducting dividend or not. So what is this, sir? This retained earning balance is after a deducting dividend only, sir. Otherwise, how the balance sheet will tally? How the assets will become equal to liability?
It's clear, sir.
100% clear, or just for the sake of saying yes, you are saying clear?
No, sir. 100%.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Suppose our company has invested in some other company. Hello.
Yeah. Tell me.
Yes, sir. Suppose a company has invested in some other company and it has received a dividend.
Okay.
So how its accounting will be done in its balance sheet?
Can anybody answer him?
Investment income, it will fall under investment income.
Investment income, bank FD, in any government security you invested, in any company shares you have invested, so you are getting dividend, interest, those are investment income. They are part of profit for the year, they are part of net profit. They are not coming in, because in a statement of changes in equity, if you start recording these separately, then why to prepare PL account? Then why to prepare income statement? Then so you can write in sales also, revenue also, kharcha also. Then why you will be preparing this? So all the income and expenses are coming here, and then the net profit for the year is coming in a statement of changes in equity. So investment income is a part of profit for the year in PL account. When you all are giving me money, Sujit, for tuition fees, you all have paid. So the tuition fees is an income, that is revenue in PL account, and the tuition fees money is there in the bank, so that is in the balance sheet. This PL account figure, the profit for the year, all are coming in retained earning. So in the liability side, retained earning goes up. And in the asset side, the cash and balance goes up. So the balance sheet will... But why you are saying journal entry, sir? Not required. Journal entry is very, very simple concept. With the journal entry, we cannot understand accounting. Without journal entry, we can understand accounting. I am not saying any journal in entire 30 classes. I will not say any journal. Okay, sir? Okay? Accounting is not debit, credit or journal. It's concept. Okay? Then by... Should we proceed or still anybody has any other doubt? So now we are proceeding. Okay? Thank you, sir. Thank you.